What are demerit points and why should I care? Everyone wants to avoid demerit points. They're like a blemish on our driving record that we'd rather not have. In Ontario, drivers accumulate demerit points for various driving offenses. So think of them like a report card, but for driving. The more you have, the closer you might be to facing penalties. How do demerit points work in Ontario? Unlike some regions where you actually lose points for offenses, in Ontario you actually gain them. Starting from zero, these points build up as you are found guilty of various driving convictions. If a fully licensed G-class driver collects, let's say, more than 15 demerit points in a 2-year period, they risk a 30-day suspension. On the other hand, if a G2 class driver gets more than 3 demerit points at any given time, they can face that same 30-day suspension. These points are actually handed out by the Ministry of Transportation, the MTO, not the courts. Stunt driving and the Ontario courts, where do demerit points fit in? Here's where it gets interesting. If you're facing a stunt driving charge in Ontario, the courts, they're not going to discuss demerit points with you. Why? Because the court's role is to register convictions, like for stunt driving or speeding. Their job is not to assign demerit points. Once your charge is registered with the court, it is then passed to the MTO. It's the MTO that then assigns the associated demerit points based on your conviction. So for a stunt driving conviction, expect to later receive 6 demerit points from the MTO. Remember, the court's hands are tied. They don't control the demerit point system. How do insurance companies view stunt driving and demerit points? When it comes to insurance rates, the insurance company's main concern isn't your demerit points. Instead, they are more interested in your convictions, like stunt driving on your record. The 6 demerit points you get for stunt driving, well, to insurers, it's just background noise. What they'll see and potentially increase your rate for is actually the stunt driving conviction itself. The real impact of stunt driving and demerit points in Ontario. While 6 demerit points, it might sound daunting, they pale in comparison to the potential other penalties for stunt driving. That mandatory license suspension of 1 to 3 years, those fines from $2,000 to $10,000, and even possible jail term. Furthermore, with a stunt driving conviction, driving or even getting insurance could be out of the question for a minimum of that 1-year license suspension. So in the realm of stunt driving in Ontario, demerit points, they might seem insignificant. It's the other penalties that should truly capture your attention.